Hi, my name is Macy Hawkins, and today I will be covering the United Arab Emirates. So, first off, the United Arab Emirates has a high context culture, meaning they really rely on nonverbal cues and context clues. This is because they're very indirect when it comes to getting to the point. High context cultures, like the one in the UAE, is a result of groups, and they highly value teamwork. And in order to work in the United Arab Emirates, you need to have a good perception of nonverbal cues, because that's mostly what they're doing, is working in group settings and picking up on the social cues. You'll also need to be able to fill gaps. These gaps could include how somebody feels based off of what they say or what their body language is. This would be hard for somebody from the United States to pick up on because we have a low context culture, meaning we're very direct and to the point, and we also would need to practice picking up on the nonverbal cues to go work in the UAE. This also loosely relates to them having a collectivist culture, which they have a collectivist culture. They have scored a 36 out of 100 on the individualism Hofstede's test. This means that they highly value really close, strong relationships, and they have a really strong commitment to the group. In order to work in the UAE, you would need to be able to utilize those strong, close relationships and be able to emphasize those. And also you would need to be able to utilize teamwork because that is what they are used to. People in the UAE are very loyal. They are, because of their close relationships, they're very loyal, and they also have very strong connection to their group. So the political setup of the UAE is a monarchy. This consists of a Supreme Council of Rulers, which is the highest rulers in the UAE. They have legislative and executive power. They elect the president and the vice president to 5-year terms. The president goes and elects a prime minister, and then the prime minister elects a council of ministers, which is 40 people. And they also elect a federal national council, who is then responsible for talking to the UAE cabinet. Now, this is different from the United States, because in the United States we have a constitutional federal republic, meaning we have a president and they make most of the decisions, and the power is divided between the states and the federal government. Now, some issues concerning the UAE right now include wars in surrounding countries. These would be wars like the war in Gaza and Israel, and there's also a civil war in Sudan happening right now, which is affecting the UAE because most of their finances are tied up in businesses in Sudan, and so they're having some financial issues. As far as U.S. relations go, they are improving. Since last year, the UAE president had decided to visit the White House, and then this year, President Trump visited the UAE, and also he had given them $200 billion for business relations there. Now, some business customs to follow whenever you're in the UAE. Formal communication is very encouraged, using Mr. and Mrs., also waiting for a woman to extend her hand to shake it, as well as addressing the eldest person in the room first. Small talk is very encouraged because this helps build the really close, strong relationships, especially whenever you're meeting someone for the first time. So small talk is very encouraged, but you do want to avoid topics such as politics or religion. Expatriates are expected to follow their own traditional clothing traditions, not following the UAE's clothing traditions of the long dresses and robes. They should, however, dress modestly, women covering their shoulders, covering their knees. Gifts are very appropriate, especially whenever you're meeting for the first time, closing on a deal, or even during religious festivals like Ramadan. Gift giving is very appropriate. Some common gifts include chocolates or dates, and they go higher in quality for the longer relationships. But there are some rules for gift giving. You don't want to give gifts across genders, and also you want to avoid giving gifts such as alcohol relating to personal items or anything related to pork or dog items. You want to avoid giving those as well. So, thank you.